Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mac back with yet another original, and today we're going to be discussing the recent incidents in Minnesota regarding the woman and the ICE agent. Terrible, tragic events that occurred, and I got a nuanced perspective on this, unlike most people. Okay? I'm an independent thinker. I'm not left, right. I'm me. Okay? Let me start by saying that. All right. Now, this incident, in my opinion, I think both parties were at fault. Yes, both of them were at fault. Okay. Start off with the officer. Officer was at fault for positioning himself in front of that vehicle. That was not smart. It was not preventative to the situation and the climate. You're in Minnesota now, okay? Everybody pretty much hates you there. And if it's true what they say, a vehicle is a deadly weapon, then why would you position yourself in front of that vehicle in that climate, in that environment where everybody hates you and you were ran over before? That doesn't make sense to me. You were ran over before, but you position yourself in front of that vehicle. Okay? That was not smart. It just wasn't. Especially if it happened before. You would think the trauma of getting ran over before would make you never put yourself in that position again. But the officer did, and which allows him to legally use deadly force on the woman for hitting him. Okay? The woman was wrong because, well, a couple of reasons. First off, she ignored the officer's commands to get out of the vehicle. Okay? She ignored those orders. Whether orders legit or not, up for debate, but I think if she did that, she comes out alive. Two, and the obvious reason, she ran over the cop. Well, not cop. I keep calling them cop. Cop, police. Well, they are cops, but most people call them ICE agents, so I'm going to stick with ICE agent. She ran him over, which was pretty much the decision that sealed her fate. Okay? I think most normal, sane people, police, if ICE or police, sheriff, whatever, is in front of your vehicle, the last thing you would do is to accelerate. Most normal people would never even think about accelerating. But you have these people who are, their ideology is pretty extreme, pretty much, what do they call them? Far left, Antifa, whatever, nicknames you want to call them. They are not known as the most sane people, okay? They're not. Not from the right and not from independents, okay? They really are losing the vote of normal, sane people who just want to go to work, come home, and have nobody bother them. That's the majority of America. And when they see you doing all this extreme stuff, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose the vote. You're going to lose the plot. They ain't going to be on your side. Okay? It's tragic what happened to her, but I think she should not have did what she did. Imagine you in your car in that same situation. What would you do? Would you floor it? Would you floor it? Me? Hell no. Okay? Hell no. Most people, whether they're right or wrong, the police that is, you can have your day in court. I don't know if it's different with ICE though. That's a good, somebody let me know if it's different with ICE, but since they're, the government and all. But yeah, tragic all around. But people are calling this George Floyd 2.0. which is insane to me. It's insane. It'll never be George Floyd 2.0. Why? Because, first of all, it's white on white. White on white doesn't sell to the media. White on white is boring, okay? The media doesn't want to report all these instances where there's white on white crime and people unaliving. That's boring to them. What's catchy is white on black crime. Now that's entertaining. That's what sells, especially if it's a cop. Oh my goodness. That is what sells, okay? So, first of all, that is one reason why I'll never be George Floyd 2.0. Second of all, George Floyd, all the angles look optically horrible, okay? This case, they tried to hide angles. Media try to hide angles to, spin their own perspective on it. But George Floyd, all angles look horrible. And like I said, it was white on black. And it was a police officer. So that's an extra bonus to that. Okay? Regardless of what you feel about George Floyd, people like to bring up, oh, well, he was a criminal and all this or that. No matter what you feel, the optics of looking at that video, everybody around the world was talking about it. Now, this case, it's kind of hard to put it in the spotlight around the world and all this stuff around the world is happening. And I think even if like I said, white on white's boring for the media. Okay? It'll never be George Floyd 2.0. People, a lot of these people are angry, protesting around the country, and some of them are looting, stealing, destroying stores. A lot of them that have nothing to do with ICE or anything. Like I said, people on the left, the independents are watching. When they see you loot and do all this stuff to businesses that ain't got nothing to do with that. They could be independents working there, and you're doing that to their business. You think they're going to want to vote for your side if you do that? Not at all. Okay? But that's the thing. Seems like they don't think logically. It's all emotion. And when you react like that, a toddler, well, mature people are not going to want to hear you. People that think are not going to want to hear you. You just got to think, man. Anyway, Trump said he's going to deploy more ICE agents in Minnesota. And based on how everything is unfolding, I think, unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the last casualty in this war. Whatever you want to call it, with ICE, Antifa, the left, whatever you want to call it. I think they're revving things up. And I think, unfortunately, it's terrible what happened to this woman. And I just don't think I think it's going to get worse. And it's terrible to say that and think about that, but that's the state of America, and the ideologies are just crazy right now. Us independents or free thinkers, whatever, who just mind their business, go to work, and just want to be left alone. I didn't mean to say independents, but anybody on any side. Those of y'all, just mind your business, want to be left alone, go home and chill, and we're watching. And we're voting. Just think about it. Peace.